Women Up Radio, designed to facilitate women's empowerment, improve your career, develop your talents, incorporate your passions, achieve fulfillment and success.
Hello, this is Women Up Radio, supporting Empower Women, and today we're talking about courage, integration, culture and drive, and the Women's Euro-Arabian North Pole Expedition. I'm joined in the studio by my guest, Misba Khan, who works as a part of a finance team in the NHS. Misba is 49, she's a mum of two, and is a member of the Women's Euro-Arabian North Pole Expedition. Her aim in joining the team is to form bridges between different cultures by encouraging women within and out of her community to gain new skills. She would like to show people that those from all abilities and backgrounds can get involved in activities that may push themselves for their own self-development, which I think sounds absolutely amazing, and I totally support it. Anyway, welcome to the programme, Misba.
Oh, hello, Anna.
So, can I start by asking you, the all-women expedition to the North Pole, it's definitely very different to your day job, and it's not something that most people undertake lightly. Can you tell us about the expedition and how did it come about?
Yes, it came about, it was an online application looking for women from across Europe and the Middle East. And it's being led by Felicity Aston, who's the Polar Explorer. Yeah. And she wanted a team of 12 women from across Europe and the Arabian Peninsula, 6 from Europe and 6 from the Middle East, each representing their own country.
Yeah.
The expedition is about 10 days, skiing the last 100 kilometers to the North Pole, where, we'll be facing physical and mental challenges, temperatures of minus 40.
Minus 40?
Shifting pack height. Minus 40. I don't know what it is there today. I mean, ours is about minus 6 in the UK today.
Oh my God. That is cold.
Yeah.
Jesus, yes.
That's cold. Shifting pack ice. We'll be pulling sledges, which is containing our food and fuel for the entire trip. Oh, and but the core purpose of this expedition is to foster greater dialogue and understanding between Western and Arabian cultures, and also to inspire women to reach beyond their expectations and fulfill their own ultimate life ambition.
Yeah. I know, well, it's inspired me. Just seriously, just reading about it and then talking to you and finding out more about it, and following your Facebook Live updates and things like that. I think it's amazing. It's opened my eyes totally to what women can do to really help each other and develop something new. But so
definitely, yeah.
Why is it an all-woman expedition?
Why not?
Well, exactly.
Yeah. Do we ever ask men why they have an all-men expedition?
Exactly. Very good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But but right now, I mean, top level training is becoming more and more specific, for not just in sport and not just in general gender for athletes, but tailored to each individual person.
Yes.
So this is a great deal, for individual differences. What I'm saying is an effective training is specific. Yes. Which is important. So gender has become less important, and individualized training programs has become more effective. Yeah. And so gender differences will be blurred.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's a great way. So physically and mentally, how do women manage compared to men in extreme situations? And how are they viewed compared to men?
From my point of view, physically, a man will always be stronger than a woman.
Yes.
That's a fact. That's how I think. But however, a woman will always be more organized and mentally prepared for any challenge that will be presented to her.
Yes.
But you know what? It's never a good idea to try to compare gender capacities, because we are all strong in some ways and not strong in others.
Yes.
So, like you just said, but the important point is that whenever people are given opportunities, regardless of a gender, we find that people will rise up to the challenge.
Yes.
So, if you look at sports across the board, you'll find that women can play any of them. Athletics, aquatics, badminton, biking, swimming, tennis, and recently, cricket has come.
Yeah.
Women all cricket team. Football was before that. So yeah, it's never. I don't look at comparing the genders at all. I don't think it's a good way to compare, because we are strong and weak in different things.
Yes. Yeah. And what about the vision of others looking at it? I mean, do you find that people look at you as an all-women team and have a negative reaction because they traditionally think that's something associated with men, or are they being open-minded?
I've had views from both sides. There have been men saying that is amazing you women, ordinary women, are doing this to inspire the women. But there have been men. Well, why is it all women? Why can't men go on this?
Yeah.
And they've been offers, like men have said, like, we'll be happy to come along if we'll pull your sledge for you. I've had views from both, and I've had views on both, and they've been from men. Well, women, all the women I know, this is great. Women empowering themselves, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I would love to do it. So I wish I was doing it. I wish I'd heard about it before so that I could have tried. So how did you get involved in it? And do you have any kind of background in this type of challenges? Because it's something really, really extreme and out there. It's not just, running around the track. So my passion is the outdoors. I adore walking and hiking. And that's been my extreme, really. But I like I said, it was an online application which I completed, but I consider myself very determined individual. So if I have set myself a target, I see it through and I achieve them. Yes. And I've always been a strong, positive person in that. So this expedition is going to be one of my biggest achievements, and obviously an extreme challenge. Oh, wonderful. And what about the other women in the expedition? Are all of you doing it for the same reasons, or is it for all different reasons?
Taking part in the expedition, the reasons are the same for all the women on our team. All of us want to inspire women in our own countries in some form or other. And, we want to influence positive change in the world around us, inspire women to believe in themselves and to realize that they can achieve, as much as we have, or even more.
Yes.
But this is a big team, which is led by Felicity, who's our team leader. And then the rest of the women come from France, Sweden, myself from United Kingdom, Slovenia, Cyprus, Russia, United Arab Emirates, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Kuwait. So just look at the countries.
God,
yeah.
And what age group is everybody?
The age group is, I get, from 28 to 49.
Oh, so you're the older lady.
I'm the oldest. Yes, I am the oldest.
Well, good for you.
It's showing you. It's showing you, a huge diverse team and a big age group as well. And like I said, we're a group of strangers who've become a close knit and highly capable unit now, and
sure.
to work as one.
Yeah. And doing something, I mean, training and being together and doing something over, it must be quite a long time that you first started meeting each other. You must really have learnt a lot about each other, about each other's cultures. It's it's extreme, but it is such a great example of different cultures interacting well together and supporting each other.
And that is the purpose of this expedition. You know, we're supportive of each other, we're diverse, we're witty, we're focused on what we need to achieve. And we understand all the obstacles and dangers that's going to be waiting for us in the North Pole. But however, you know, as a group, since we first met to now, it's been 18 months, we have been learning from one another, promoting, you know, to the world that ordinary women can do extreme challenges, and that women today, strong, bold, courageous and determined.
Yep. Which the perfect example of how we can grow and empower ourselves from
exactly. Yes.
Right.
That's it. Yes.
Wonderful. And so what do you think will be the greatest challenge for all of you on the expedition?
It'll be different for everybody. So there will be that some of them, the greatest challenge for them will be away from their family, home comfort, seeing polar bears.
Oh God,
yes. Crossing the open waters, you know, where ice is split. I think for me that will be one of my challenges to cross the open waters, you know, to get into that cold water, to swim across, and then.
Can you actually swim across it?
Yes, you'll have to float yourself across it. We've just completed our training. I'll tell you about that later. But so that is one of the challenges. I have found that it will be difficult for me. The cold will be another challenge for me because, like you said, it's going to be -40.
I mean, do you think, will it be more mental or physical, the challenge? Or
I think both. I think it's going to be a combination of both, because the physical will be meeting like daily targets.
Yes.
And a mental will be trying to keeping up the morale of the team, motivating ourselves by pulling our sledge, because we're going to be in a line and we won't be talking to each other. We'll be pulling our sledge for about 8 to 9 hours a day. So you're not actually talking to each other. In one of my trainings, I found that my iPod had run out of batteries by the end of a week. You know, I was charging with the charger, and the charger then had finished as well.
Yeah.
So the various challenges for different people, but
you can feel very alone with it.
You are listening to Anna Letitia Cook at Women Up Radio.
Talking about the training, how do people, you and the others, how do you manage to do the training? Because it must take a lot of time and commitment, and you've still got a personal and professional life, so you've got to try and integrate everything. Isn't it really difficult?
You know, I've got I have a very good work-life balance, and being a mother, I have created that for myself, and that. So any project you want to do well requires sort of structure and system.
Yeah. And
we all, as a team, everybody has a work, and they also are training as well. So you have to be very disciplined and I talk about myself, I am very disciplined in my time, family, work and friends. So, and that's also, for this expedition, time is of an essence in our expedition, because the challenge is all structured around the time. You know, we're in extreme conditions. So, say there's 12 of us and 4 in each tent. So we all have to come out of the tent at the same time to pack the tent, because one tent can't be out 5 minutes before the other person. Otherwise, they're already being stood in -45 minutes prior, and they'll be much, much colder. So time has been everything on this expedition has been structured around time, and everyone is responsible for their role. And also we've learnt each other's roles in case of emergency.
Yeah, incredible, absolutely incredible. So, and I know you've just been to Iceland on your last training week before the actual expedition. So tell me a bit about that, because I was following you on Facebook Live and the updates and things like that. And I was amazed that you had internet cover, but that's totally irrelevant. But
that was fantastic.
You're lucky. It's better than my cover here, but never mind. But I couldn't believe what I saw. I mean, I don't know if I've had some ridiculous idea of what it's like in extreme conditions, but tell us about it, because you really had a good test of bad weather.
Yes, our first Iceland trip was 18 months ago. So at that time, temperatures was of -20. So I expected the same thing. I didn't expect a snowstorm last week. You know, there was winds of 170 kilometers and a snowstorm. Yes, and a snowstorm that lasted 19 hours. We was in a tent for 19 hours. I couldn't put on the stove because it was collapsing slowly on one side. And then at 3 o'clock at night, the winds had changed. Yeah. And the other side was, just it had bent to, it was touching our face. Eventually, the pole broke.
Oh, really?
And my teammate, Asma, had run out without her shoes to the next tent and took refuge there. The tent collapsed, and I'm there putting my sleeping bag in a plastic bin liner. I thought, well, at least I can take something with me, and then was rescued out by another team member. And I grabbed my shoes on the way. I did quickly put them on, and then the tent had just collapsed. We just put our sledges on the tent, and we then went to see it in the morning. But we took refuge in another tent until the storm went. But it was a very tough training. Yeah. We had to do a cold water drill, jumping into the lake.
How cold is the water in those circumstances?
I found the water was warmer than
outside.
It was. I was jumped in. I got out, ran, rolled myself in the snow, and next minute, you had to strip. My feet. I couldn't feel my feet. Oh, really? It was just like two blocks. They were that numb, and I had to, they had to help me to take my socks and my clothes off.
Oh, really? And
yeah.
I mean, did anybody panic? Because those are very scary circumstances, for anybody.
Yeah, but
whether you're old, young, man, woman, whatever, those are really difficult. It's not what we're used to.
No, it's part of training, though, and so we did have an idea. Felicity had a structure again of what we was going to be doing each day, and the tougher the training, the better it is. The better prepared we are for the North Pole.
Yes, yeah, very true. Good point.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know. Well, we've already spoken that you and your teammates, you're from several different countries and cultures and experiences. What have you found that the different cultures and vision bring to all of you, and what have you learned from and taught each other because of your sharing your different cultures, your different...
Yeah, well, you know what, it's privileged to share these different cultures and approaches, and we have the same goal. But some of the team members come from countries where the sun is always shining.
Yes.
So, it is a huge challenge for them. And, I belong to a country where you can have 4 seasons in one day.
Yes.
So, you know, I've got ice and snow. Yeah.
Yeah.
The cultural, there are cultural, language and social differences, but we have learned from each other, and I guess we motivate each other, encourage one another when necessary to ensure, you know, that we all succeed. We have a sense of humour throughout all this expedition, and hopefully we'll still become lifetime friends.
Hopefully. That's right. So, okay, and I know another thing is that you want to show people that those from all abilities and all backgrounds can get involved in activities that might push themselves for their own self-development. So for us, the listeners, how can we start doing this? I mean, are there any baby steps that you recommend that will help us start on our way?
You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be an expedition of this kind, of this extreme. Whatever you want to pursue in life, I'd say go for it. I did this exactly for this expedition. Enjoy it. And I have done all the mini expeditions leading to this, the big one. I have enjoyed it. You learn from it and you become fulfilled with your own passion. You know, you sleep in rocky places or cold places. It might not be fun at the time, and believe you me, at times it isn't fun because the snow really does hurt your back, and it's cold. But it's always enjoyable when you look back from the experiences you've had.
Yeah. I know. Well, you've inspired me on doing a double marathon and then another one.
I know.
And I'm 58. Everybody listening, I'm 58, so I'm an older lady, although I'm very down. And I can't wait. But I'm sure if I hadn't been in contact with you and seen what you're all doing, I don't know whether I would have done it. So thank you for inspiring me. Right? And
oh, brilliant.
what I'd like to know, just to finish up,